The Florida Gators have made yet another addition to the 2023 recruiting class. And this time it comes in the form of wide receiver Andy Jean from Miami, went to Northwestern High School, but he's a Miami kid and he's been rising on recruiting class rankings lately because people are finally opening their eyes to watch him. 24/7 will catch up soon, or the 24/7 Sports Composite will catch up soon. 24/7, they're kind of on top of it. Not gonna lie, they got to bump it up a little bit, but they're doing their thing. But that's not the important part. The important part is that the Florida Gators added yet another big name for this 2023 recruiting class, and it's kind of crazy because it was just a few weeks ago that a bunch of people were like, oh no, this Florida Gators recruiting class, this Florida Gators coaching staff can't recruit. Where? And then, we grew up and we realized that things are actually really working out pretty well for the Florida Gators football team and the Florida Gators 2023 recruiting class, because guess what? That's what this coaching staff does. They build a program, they build a culture, and they build a team. And they've been building one heck of a wide receiver room. Andy Jean is a 4-star wide receiver from Miami. He is the 16th commit to the Florida Gators 2023 recruiting class. And he is also the 14th commit from Florida. Billy Napier was not playing around at SEC Media Days when he said, we want to attack the state of Florida and build out, dominate within, and build out and grow out and branch out. And that is exactly what they've done even before then. They've clearly taken a focus on the state of Florida, and they've been doing their thing. They've been putting in quite a bit of work there, and it's clear that it's working out. Andy Jean, by the way, is a big commitment for the Florida Gators, and he's the 11th highest ranked commit on the composite because he's still a 4-star player. He's still a 4-star player, but he's the 11th best commit in a class of just 16. Because when you look at this class of 16 for the Florida Gators 2023 recruiting class, 14 of them are big-time players. The Florida Gators have 14 4-star players. That's 14 of the, Marcus Stokes is tweeting. That's 14 of the 16 commits are blue chip players. That's blue chip Billy, baby. I cannot believe that I forgot the sunglasses. I did it again. I forgot the sunglasses because it's Florida. And that's exactly what it is. Billy Napier and his coaching staff, they're doing their thing specifically at receiver right now. So Andy Jean just committed to Florida, and he is the 5th Florida receiver. And also, real quick before I even talk about that, I want to talk a little trash here, because I don't know how many people here. There's currently 48 people watching this. I don't know how many, 50 now. I don't know how many of you are Miami fans searching Andy Jean's name. I don't know how many of you are Florida fans that are watching. I'm hoping most of you. I don't know how many of you watch Locked On Canes, or how many of you specifically watched yesterday's Locked On Canes, where he talked about Tommy Kinsler. And, Alex Dono, I love Dono. I do. But he spoke about Tommy Kinsler, okay? He spoke about Tommy Kinsler a lot. And he mentioned Mario Cristobal stuffing Billy Napier in the locker. And here's the thing that I want to talk about specifically regarding Tommy Kinsler. No, Tommy Kinsler committed to Florida. 2 weeks later, decommitted from Florida after a trip to Miami. And then and then Florida stopped recruiting him. So that it's as simple as that. That's what happened. I can tell you that. The exact quote that I got was, he's a head case. And that's what happened with that one. So I'm not trying to bash the kid. My point is, red flags for Florida mean that they will stop recruiting you. That's as simple. That's what this coaching staff has done so far. That's what they've shown so far. So that's what happened with Tommy Kinsler. But on Twitter specifically, I just wanted to bring up Alex Dono. You could let him know what I said. But on Twitter specifically, a lot of Miami fans were like, we don't even want Andy Jean. We're recruiting higher receivers. Wham! But that's my mocking noise. But when Miami took Tommy Kinsler, who Florida wasn't even recruiting anymore, it was, he's pummeling him to death. Mario Cristobal is murdering Billy Napier. And it's like, you are so dumb. Like, you are so dumb. And sure, there's Malik Bryant, there's Jaden Rashada, there's Francis Mauigoa. Yes, those are all big wins for Miami. My point that I'm making is not every commit battle that you win is stuffing anyone in a locker. Malik Bryant, sure, you could use that argument for Malik Bryant. You could. Don't use it for Tommy Kinsler. You just look stupid. And don't try to be like, oh, well, we lost this one, so it's because we weren't trying. No, you got bested by a coaching staff that is, frankly, picking up a lot of steam and a lot of momentum. They now have 5 receivers for the Florida Gators 2023 recruiting class. You've got Aiden Mizell is your number 1 receiver type. He's an inside out, deep threat, shifty guy. He could do it all. That's Aiden Mizell. You have your number 1 receiver. You have now your number 2 receiver, I believe, in Andy Jean. I know how rankings work out. I believe Andy Jean is the 2nd best receiver in this class for the Florida Gators, at least 2023 recruiting class. I think he is a shifty separator who could work inside and out. That's what I believe in Andy Jean. I believe he's a legitimate number 2 option. I believe he could be a number 1 receiver on most college football teams. He may become the Florida Gators' number 1 receiver. Who knows? You've got Eugene Wilson III, who's always talked about as a slot, and I understand that sentiment of saying that Eugene Wilson III is a slot receiver. Completely makes sense. I get it. But he's a speed demon. That's what I care about. He is a speed demon that can stretch the field. Then you've got Creed Whitmore is a complete project. And we've talked about Creed Whitmore. We talked about him earlier today when we were talking about the recruiting class in general, when I went live after Jordan Castle's commitment, because I do go live after every one. Come on, bro. Just let them be them and us be us. You're spending too much time giving that other team time. You know what, Rod? I wasn't going to do it. I wasn't going to talk about Miami. But Alex Dono for Locked On Canes wanted to talk. So if people want to jaw jack, I'll jaw jack. It's as simple as that. I'm down for it. And I've said it recently quite a few times. I'm gonna disrespect people. Like I'm getting disrespectful to people. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna start talking that talk because I've been too polite for too long. But yeah, Creed Whitmore is your project type. Wanting him to get a bit taller. We're hoping for a growth spurt. He's an athlete that is pretty raw as a receiver. We could say that. He didn't play receiver in college. In high school, he's been a quarterback. He's been a safety. He's been doing a lot. He hasn't really been playing receiver. So Creed Whitmore will make that transition. And that's something I'm really not worried about because we see it with quarterbacks moving to tight end, moving to receiver. We see that a lot. We don't really see quarterback moving to running back often, but Texas did it with Roshan Johnson and it worked out phenomenally. That kid's amazing. He's a freak. But Florida, we're going with Creed Whitmore to play receiver, and that's totally fine. Tyree Patterson, should he stay, is your stereotypical X receiver. But I think that with the addition of Andy Jean, Tyree Patterson being the lowest ranked commit for the Florida Gators recruiting class for 2023, which is not a knock on him. It's a fantastic recruiting class so far. Tyree, and he's a climber. He's been climbing quickly. He was, I believe, not even ranked when Billy Napier offered him and he committed. And then he was the 823rd or something like that. Gator Gang 2022. We missed you. Well, I'm here now, baby. That's what I'm doing. But Tyree Patterson, I do believe, will flip to UCF after this. And I get wanting to leave this recruiting class as the 5th ranked receiver in a stacked recruiting class where Florida is still looking to add talent. So I understand wanting to leave. What I don't really get is his play style wanting to go to UCF. That's the confusing part for me. But I get wanting to stay close to home and all that. So I understand it generally. But I don't necessarily agree with the landing spot if he flips to UCF. That's my issue. I fully understand and agree with leaving. Again, I said it last segment, last show. If you want to leave and go to wherever you think will be the best place for you, then fantastic. Like good for you, proud of you, happy for you. Wish nothing but success for you. But I think some landing spots are pretty questionable. Great pickup, great weekend. Can't stay on long, so y'all have a blessed weekend unless you're a Miami fan. Gator Gang, thank you for coming through. Thank you for sliding out, and very much appreciate you. Hopefully there are more commits today because tomorrow, like I've mentioned before, I'll be moving people, so I will be helping someone move. So I won't really be available to live stream. Maybe I'll hop on for my phone real quick or something like that. But yeah, that's how it is. We're about to talk more about this anti-gene commitment and what it means for the Florida Gators recruiting class. But first, if you think the Florida Gators are going to win 7 or more games, like I do, then bet the over. If you think they're going to win 6 or less games, like a dummy, bet the under. And you can do that with betonline.net, which is your number one source for all of your betting needs and sports information. I've been using BetOnline for 5 or 6 years now. I'll get to the questions. Don't worry. I see you. But I've been using it for 5 or 6 years now. I love it. You can bet on anything there. Tennis is dead to me, though. But head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn all about the trends and action. Check out BetOnline. It's where the game starts. KRG, don't promote gambling. Don't watch my show then. Like, that's what we do. Sorry, but it's what we do. It's as simple as that. I don't got to do that. Rod Smith said, "Gotta go, bro. Love your daily pods. Keep it going the way that the team fans." That's what I'm saying, Rod. That's what we're doing. Who's the most likely next pick in your? I think it's got to be Dijon. Dijon, I think is going to be a Gator. I think that Florida will finish the flip. It'll be Billy Napier's. It depends what you think of a flip. Because when I was younger, I used to just consider a flip if you go literally while you're committed to, like we'll say Isaiah Nixon. Isaiah Nixon was a flip, committed to UCF, didn't decommit, just legitimately flipped and went to Florida. Like he didn't have this decommit and recruitment period. He just flipped. Andy Jean was committed to Miami, I believe, in January, and then he decommitted, and then he went through his recruitment process, and he committed to Florida again. So that's technically still a flip, but it's not an immediate flip. So I think Florida will continue the flipping with Dijon. The Florida Gators were number 13th ranked recruiting class before this. Yes, Jesse Calderon, also the QB flip from Penn State with Florida. That's what I'm saying. Like I said it a week or two ago, and I was like, Billy Napier's proven that he's willing to flip players and he can flip players. Like he's done that. And people were like, well, what does that even mean? It's like he's done it twice in the past month. And then if you consider people that decommitted and then committed to Florida, he did it again. And Trayon Webb also is someone who committed to multiple schools and then decommitted, and he is now a Gator. And so you see that happen. Like Florida has a lot of people who were at one point committed to other schools. Yes, Florida was 13 before adding Andy Jean, and now they are number 12 after adding Andy Jean. So Florida has now passed Arkansas. And even from Thursday morning, Florida was number 23. Since then, Florida's passed in order: North Carolina, Oregon, Iowa, Northwestern, Washington, Louisville, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, Baylor, USC, and now Arkansas. And they are 14 points behind Tennessee. So it's going to take probably a high caliber commitment for Florida to pass Tennessee, which I believe if Florida gets the commitment from Dijon, they will pass. They will pass them. I think Dijon. Let's see, adding him in 247. So no, does not give us the flip. That would not give us the flip, right? Or that would not give us the pass at 247. That'd keep us behind Tennessee, but with a much more closed gap there, according to the 24/7 class calculator. So that's what we're looking at there. But yeah, no, that's the thing, Jess. Like, I also don't care about the class ranking. I was talking to Zach Blackerby from Locked On Auburn before, because he is obviously the host of Auburn and obviously an Auburn fan. And I was making fun of him because right now Auburn's class is worse than Vanderbilt's class ranking wise. But he was saying, he's like, look, Auburn doesn't have a lot of commits. They have a fantastic average rating. They just don't have a lot of commits. And that's not the same thing with Florida right now. 16 commits is pretty solid. But the other classes above Florida, you've got Tennessee's got 19, LSU's got 17, Miami has 16, same as Florida. Penn State's got 18, Clemson's got 17, Oklahoma's got 18, Texas has 20, Alabama's also got 16, Georgia's got 18, Notre Dame's got 20, and Ohio State has 19. So Florida is like they've been doing a fantastic job with the number of recruits they have and the number of commits they have. But Brian Carter, LOU passed the Volts, but on the yeah, of course, the Volts. Who even cares about them? Last year, I did a crossover with Eric Kane from Locked On Vols, and he was like, "Do you consider this a rivalry?" And I was like, "No." Like, what is? No, I don't consider it a rivalry. Florida wins almost all the time, so no, I don't consider it a rivalry. But it is what it is at that point. But Florida now has a fantastic class. And here's the thing: I would like to hear from you guys in the comments. Who do you think the headliner of this class is? And by that, I don't just mean just the highest ranked player. I mean, who do you think is the headliner for the Florida Gators 2023 class so far? Because right now, honestly, and I realize this is wild considering he's the like 13th or 12th highest ranked player. I think it's Marcus Stokes. I do. And not that he's necessarily the best player on the team or the best player in the recruiting class or whatever it might be. It's just he's a quarterback. Like, here's my point with Marcus Stokes. He's a flip. He's a quarterback. He's been very actively recruiting on Twitter. He's just come play wide receiver for the Joker and all that stuff, which is a dope name. But also because Marcus Stokes was kind of the turning point for Florida. Yes, Isaiah Nixon committed a couple of days before then. But with Marcus Stokes committed. And then I believe it was July 8th, if I'm not mistaken. Let me make sure that. Marcus Stokes committed July 7th. And then that same day, Trayon Webb, like half an hour later or 40 minutes later, committed to Florida. And then the next day, Eugene Wilson III committed to Florida. And I realized I said Isaiah Nixon committed the week before. It was TJ Searcy. But I view Marcus Stokes as the person who kind of started this domino effect of Florida really picking up momentum. And it makes sense because after Jaden Rashada, the big issue for Florida was, where do you go at quarterback? And the point that I will maintain on Marcus Stokes is I don't care if he ever works out as a legit. Obviously, I want him to work out, but necessarily in the grand scheme of things, he doesn't have to. Marcus Stokes doesn't have to become the starting quarterback for the Florida Gators. What matters is having him active and committed to the team so that Florida can, Billy Napier and everybody can go, like Kira Colbert could go to these players and say, we've got the quarterback for the 2023 class. We have our starting quarterback for the future. So let's do that. Let's let the player go to Ohio State. Now, yes, Alex, that's what we're saying. I think Dijon will be the next commit. It could happen today. Could happen. I hope it doesn't happen tomorrow, since, like I said, I'll be helping someone move tomorrow, so I won't be able to go live. So I hope it's not tomorrow. I hope it's today or any day next week. But yeah, no, Florida's doing their thing. And I think Marcus Stokes is the most important player so far. I've been hearing Tyree Patterson is going to flip. Yeah, Sean, I talked about it earlier. I think Tyree Patterson will flip. I think, honestly, I wouldn't blame him if he does. I wouldn't blame him if he does. He's the fifth receiver. He was the first commit for Billy Napier for the 2023 class. Aaron Gates was committed earlier, but he was a Dan Mullen kid. But Billy Napier, Tyree Patterson, first commit. I would like him to have an X receiver. I would like to have that style of receiver. But I also understand leaving. Like I said, my biggest thing is that I wouldn't totally understand going to Central Florida. Just as a receiver, I don't see what's enticing unless you're a runner receiver type. Unless you're a gadget player. I don't see what's super enticing about going there. Wide receiver room full now. I'll tell you what, John Quarles. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. And also, I realized that I said before I tweeted that I spoke to a Florida Gators coach and I was talking about recruiting prior to, and I would say what we were talking about. And here's what the coach said to me. I won't say who it is. That'd be stupid for me to say. But we were talking after the Jordan Castle commitment, and he said, there's still a lot of work to do, but no one's backing down from anybody. And that was just so exciting for me because I don't remember the last time that I've been this confident in a coaching staff in their ability to build this program back to what it could be. And that's what I'm feeling with this coaching staff. And it got me very excited. Even with Story too, but Gene and Patterson are very similar. See, that's the thing with Patterson and Gene. I feel like Gene is shiftier. I feel like he's just so shifty. And yeah, if Tyree Patterson stays a Gator, like I would love it, but I don't know if he does. I wouldn't blame him if he leaves. We need 5 wide receivers in this class. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Florida's still recruiting receivers, guys. Florida's not going to stop recruiting receivers. Like Billy Napier wants them. I've been told Florida ain't stopping at receiver. They're going to keep trying to add names, especially right now because until National Signing Day happens, until players sign that letter of intent and send it to Florida, nothing's done yet. Like we can be happy about the commits, but nothing is done to this point. A 4-star tight end would be nice. Hey Chandler, what's up? How you doing? Like I said, I've been told Florida's not pushing for tight ends. It's just as simple as that. Yeah, that's the thing. Like we talked about it. I think it was Thursday's episode of Locked On Gators. I think that I spoke about this where I was like, Florida has so many tight ends that will almost definitely be back for 2023. I don't think you need to press on the 2023 class. We should focus on offensive line, interior defensive line, and linebackers. And that's what you really got to push on. I'd like to see more safeties. Add another player in the backfield, running back, whatever it might be. DeQuavius Story is going to be an interesting one and a fun one. Mario Cristo Goat, I've seen you come in here before. I don't want to talk trash to you. Like, I've seen you come in here before. Thanks for Andy G. Alex Dono, also from Locked On Canes, who I was talking trash to before. He messaged me. He was like, hey, congrats on Gene. Like he's a great baller. That's what it is. We're going to wrap up here soon, and hopefully there's going to be another commit for us to go live again. But we're going to wrap up here soon. So if there's any questions, send them in. Billy likes authentic tight ends because he uses them to run around. So yeah, I mean, Jesse, tomorrow there's going to be my interview with Hayden Hansen, the 2022 3-star tight end that's coming to Florida. My interview is coming out with him again. And Wade, shut your mouth. I don't care about you. I don't care. And so my interview with Hayden Hansen's coming out. That kid is amazing. You could tell he used to play quarterback. After the Ohio State flip, who'd be the next person to look out for? It's up in the air right now because I have no idea what's happening. Like at the grill or at the barbecue, whatever you want to call it. I have no idea what's happening with that. But all I know is that the Florida Gators current commits are pushing kids. That's all I know, which is big because Florida. I said it before. I think one of my biggest issues with the coaching staff has been not being able to close kids, being too laid back and lax about, take your time, and no rush. And then these kids, like another team Miami swoops in and takes them. Georgia swoops in and takes them. And it's like, well, Florida, I would like to see them kind of put the foot to the pedal there, and see what happens, and hopefully add more commits and put more pressure on. I hope they're applying pressure. I think that's what happened with Andy Jean. I think it's just happening with Dijon. I'm hoping it keeps happening, and I'm hoping they keep pushing there. I don't know what's going on with Monroe Freeling. I feel kind of good about him, but not sure what'll happen. Really, not completely sure what'll happen. I'm hoping he comes, but we'll see. Yeah, we're gonna head out of here. And Alex Crickets, and yeah, they've been very quiet. They've just been shh. Yeah, we're gonna head out of here. We're gonna wrap up for now, and we're gonna hope there's another commit today or tonight, whatever it might be. And again, if there's a commit tomorrow while I'm home, then I will gladly go live, and I would love to go live and talk about it. If not, there will be that Hayden Hansen interview is going to go live solo. And that's what it is. Hopefully we'll see some commits while I'm home tomorrow night when I'm home after helping people move. And we'll be able to go live. Every commit will be going live. Subscribe, put the little bell on just so you know when I'm going live. Because again, it just happens. Like I'm not prepared for these things. I'm just like, these kids commit, we're going. But it's great to be a Gator. It's fantastic to be a Gator. And we're going to, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Roderick. I said it. It was happening. I said Andy Jean's going to commit today. And look what happened. So we're going to be going live. Make sure to enjoy it. Make sure to have fun. Make sure to get involved. And we're just trying to build this community. Thank y'all for coming in. And I will hopefully talk to you again today if we get another Gator. Thank you, John. And love you all. Have a great day.